Welcome to another episode of Peralta Matters. I'm your host, Jay Calhoun. Today's episode will be dealing with Laney College, its administrators, faculty, and students. So sit back, relax, and find out what matters here at Peralta.
When I took my first class at Laney College, I had no idea I was going to be a photojournalist. After 14 years working with the Oakland Tribune, I can say I love my profession. Laney helped me reach the American dream. I am Ray Chavez. Laney works for me.
Welcome back to Peralta Matters. I'm your host, Jay Calhoun. We are now joined by Michael Torres, Director and Chair of the Laney Theater Department. How are you, sir?
I'm great. How are you?
Excellent. Thanks for coming on the show.
Thank you.
Let's start with the brand new Laney Theater building, the Odell Johnson Theater. Tell me about, one, the renovations and how you're feeling about it.
Well, right now the renovation's the sign. Okay, which it looks great out there. It's really nice to see it lit up like that. And I think it's written in the same cursive that's on the tower? The Laney Tower, which I believe, don't quote me on this, but I believe that's Odell's signature. You know, which just kind of makes it super special. I think he's a super great guy. And I'm happy to see his name up there. And there's some talk about renovating, you know, the theater. I know they're looking for funds, you know, to back it up. There's talk about, you know, some fast tracking stuff like resurfacing the stage and new dimmer banks and lights and fixing the elevator. People tend to get stuck in it, you know.
For all 3 floors, right?
It's bad when your TD gets stuck in the elevator. I heard him up there. We're like doing a show and you hear the technical director go, "Help."
That's not good, right?
No, so it's like, no, we need to fix the elevator. Right. But that's all slotted to, or slated to be fixed. Last I heard was just a couple of days ago, is that they're looking for funds to get it done. Which, wow, that would be really great.
Excellent. Let's talk a little bit about your trajectory to where you are now. 25 years acting, 7 years teaching here at Laney. What'd you get out of all that?
A whole lot of happiness. I'm a happy guy.
Right on. Excellent.
You know, it's fun. It's a nice thing to be privileged enough, I think, to follow your bliss. You know, point. And it's a privilege that you kind of like sort of release under yourself.
Yeah.
You know, everyone can have this privilege, right? To follow your bliss. So. I did that for 20 plus years as a professional actor all over the world, and you know, in pretty cool houses. Right. And then teaching, you know, is doing the same thing, pretty much for me. It's like when the eclipse happened, I was like adjuncting, and I noticed as an adjunct, because I was trained to be an actor, not a teacher. Right. And so when I started teaching, I noticed, you know, when I'd look in the student's eye, if I'd see that sparkle, you know, that I'd get the same sort of thrill that I get when I'm working with an actor, you know, and we've got the give and take thing going on. Right. And it works. Right. You know, so when I see that in the student, it's just, the thrill's the same. So I found it sort of exciting to like go into teaching and pass the flame, because I just have, that's in my belief system. It's like pass the flame, but you should pass it when you're still able to pass it.
Exactly, right. Not when you're falling down.
Right, not when you're like, you can barely, your brain's scrambled and you're like,
who am I going to pass it to?
Right. It's like, still be able to like pass it, be able to lift it, be able to give it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
As a director and chair, what are your missions, goals, aspirations for the theater department at Laney?
Oh, Well, we already hit one, which was to go to Top of the World.
There we go.
You know, we went to the Edinburgh Festival in August of
2011, that's right. That's right.
And the Edinburgh Festival is the #1 fringe theater festival in the world. And we were one of 8 colleges in the United States asked to go and perform there. So we took Naomi Azuka's Polaroid Stories, which is a pretty tough piece to perform. Yeah. And we got 4 out of 5 stars at the Edinburgh Festival.
Excellent.
That was great. So that goal got accomplished a lot earlier than
than anticipated,
right?
Okay.
But it's because of the kind of talent that we that Oakland has, you know, inside its city borders. Now it's about we've been invited to go again, but it's like raising the kind of money. It costs $71,000 to go.
Wow.
And you know,
how many students did you take?
I took 15.
Wow.
And we raised the money. We took no corporate dollars, and thanks to a lot of the faculty and the students' hustle, we raised it, and I'm proud of that. It's like
it should be. Yeah.
It's like it was really 5 of the student actors and myself. We raised $71,000 in 8 months.
Wow.
You know, no corporate dollars. It was like we woke up every morning and was like, how are we going to like score these dollars?
Right.
You know. And anyway, we have like the standing invitation to go back and do it again.
Excellent.
But I'm like, I'm not waking up every morning again and going through that.
For the 8 months? Come on, you got it, Michael. Come on, Michael. You can do it.
Oh, man. You know, that took a toll.
I hear you. I hear you.
But it was worth it when the theater arts department went over there and did their thing and came back with the 4 out of 5 stars. So the next thing is to increase our audience, work on our audience development. Right now we average, 70, 80 people a house when we do a performance, and we do about 12 performances. I'm working on the next big goal is to like sell out all 311 seats, all 12 performances.
That's right.
So I'm working with the students now on publicity and how to publicize and how to inspire word of mouth, which is really powerful, and get more folks from Oakland, to come to the theater. Yeah. All of them that do so far, they really like it and they come back. Right. So it's just we need to like help increase those numbers, and so that's the next big thing on the agenda. When we accomplish that, we'll figure something.
Else for the next one out.
So instead of doing 1 show a semester, now we're doing 1 show a year.
Okay.
And then what we do in the first semester is work towards what's called an open process. So we let people in to come see where we are in our rehearsal process.
Outstanding.
And then we go back to rehearsing, and then we start working with our props and set, and then we go and we do a longer performance in the spring. And then over here in the fall, we get to like work our publicity.
Getting ready for the spring performance. Excellent. If you were to give a prospective student a pitch on joining the Laney Theater Department, what would it be?
Well, I generally don't, because it's like...
It pitches itself?
It pitches itself. It's sort of like, if you want to be an actor, I don't have to pitch it to you. Actors have got it right here.
Yeah.
Right here, and they've got to drive. There's hundreds, because the classes always fill. There's all sorts of people that maybe they have the talent, maybe they have the dream, but the actor lives here in the heart, and the actor's got a drive, it's a hustler.
Yeah.
Right? And I don't have to pitch to that.
Never. Outstanding.
Sometimes I have to pull it because I see it.
Okay.
Because I'll see it in the student, it's like, there's that drive, but we're sort of back-footing on that drive. So I just kind of get behind and push the foot forward, and I keep pushing the foot forward until they get used to doing it on their own, and then it kick-starts their drive, and they're on it.
Right on.
And we got a lot of hustlers up in there.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do.
So it's like you got talent and hustle. So a lot of our students go to work while professionally, while they're still training here, which I've not experienced that in any other school.
Outstanding. Real quick, what is your performance for this year? What will it be?
Oh, we already did it.
We already did it.
Closed about 3 weeks ago. Professor Jackie Graves wrote it. The play was called Alice in Oaksterland.
That's what I wanted you to talk about. Why'd you choose Alice in Oaksterland, real quick?
Well, we started off with Alice in Wonderland, and we were going to do the traditional gig, and then it was just, man, how does this relate to Oakland? You know,
like
and that's
that.
really big to me. It's like whatever show we do, it's got to bring Oakland into the mix.
I like it.
You know, I just feel like for so many people in Oakland, exclusion was involved in our lives and stuff. I want to like work with inclusion. You know, so it's like, okay, let's do Alice in Wonderland, but let's bring Oakland into the mix and make it an Oakland story. So we Jackie superimposed characters from Oakland that are sort of similar to characters in the story, right? And superimposed them together, and there they were. So you got like this Caterpillar was this hipster, you know, who just kind of thinks a bit much,
Right.
you know,
Right.
of himself, sitting high on that mushroom stuff.
Excellent.
The Mad Hatter, we flipped it to, even though he didn't live here, but he was here for a minute, Jimi Hendrix. So we're like, Jimi Hendrix is not gone. Jimi Hendrix is here. He's up in Tilden. You know, like some obscure place up in the woods that nobody like knows.
Right.
And up there, that's where the Mad Hatter Tea Party happens, and it's Jimmy and a couple other people from the '60s. You know, just hanging out with Jimmy up there. The Martyr and the Dormouse are just contemporaries of Jimmy, and he's been up there since 1968.
Hanging.
Right, hanging, right, because time did him a bad trick.
Right.
So he's just up there hanging, and then to add to it, we brought the Tea Party.
The actual Tea Party.
The actual Tea Party. Yeah, so it was like the Tea Party meets Jimi Hendrix and his Tea Party.
Wouldn't we want to see that right now? I'd love to see that.
It was hilarious because it's sort of like, who's crazier?
Right.
You know? So it's like, it was really,
Excellent.
for me, it was really funny, and for a lot of the audience, you know, it was really kind of great because I got a big kick out of it. So it was sort of like a political satire.
Excellent.
You know, and then we brought things that some of my students had experienced, like the Occupy Oakland movement was brought in. You know, some of the marching and stuff like that, and the tear gassing was put into the play.
Excellent.
You know, also, and
good stuff, man.
yeah, because some of my students were there. They were tear gassed.
Right.
You know, because they were part of the Occupy movement, and they were like, we want to say something.
Excellent. Well, Michael, I want to thank you for coming on the show, man.
Oh, sure.
Good luck at the theater department. We'll make sure we get the word out that people come to see your shows, man.
Great. The next one's either going to be Animal Farm or some sort of grim story that's going to be meshed with Oakland headlines from the Tribune.
I like it. All right. That was Michael Torres, the chair and department head of Laney College Theater Arts Department. We'll be right back in a few minutes.
I'm Congresswoman Barbara Lee. Join me in watching Peralta TV.
Welcome back to Peralta Matters. I'm your host, Jay Calhoun. We are now joined by Eileen White, Executive Vice President of Student Learning at Laney College. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming.
It's a pleasure to be here.
Outstanding. Let's give our viewers what we've been talking about and what I know now in totality, the meaning of the position of Executive President of Student Learning. What does that mean?
Actually, it means that I am overseeing not only the academic affairs, but the student affairs of Laney College. How best to provide instructional services and the support services that enhance student success at Laney College.
Outstanding. We talked a little bit off camera, and you said that the responsibilities you're drafting, the responsibilities you're putting the programs together to make this a very efficient and well organized reorg or reorganization, so to speak. What does it require? Does it require you to not only know the student services portion, but also the academic? And how do you make the synergy?
Well, our goal was integration.
Okay.
And because I previously served as the Vice President of Instruction, that part was rolling along fairly well. Okay. With the new responsibilities, I have had a learning curve because most of my experience had been primarily with instruction, but I had experience with EOP&S and some other aspects of student services, so it wasn't totally new to me, but it has been a learning curve. One of the challenges of it is because the district is still with 2 vice presidents, being able to get to all the meetings and getting to all of the events that is encompassed when you have only one person overseeing those areas, as opposed to having 2 people being able to manage that. But overall, it's been a great learning experience for both myself as well as the 5 deans that we have at Laney College. Previous to the reorg, we had 7 deans, and we had 2 vice presidents. Now we have 1 vice president, and then we have 5 deans, each of which have an emphasis either in instruction or student services, but they also have responsibilities in the opposite. So if they are primarily student services, they do have some academic responsibilities. And those who are in have primarily academic responsibilities, they also have some student services responsibilities.
Excellent. So they're learning on both sides.
So we're all learning together.
There you go.
Yes.
There you go. We spoke earlier about the process in which Laney took on to make this reorganization possible. Student involvement, the open houses. Can you discuss a little bit about what you did?
As we were going through contemplating the reorg and what we needed to do to be able to live within the state financial restrictions that have been placed on us.
Well put.
We were looking at what would be the best way to consolidate some of the things that were happening on our campus.
Gotcha.
And so as we were thinking about it administratively and what would possibilities would be, then we went from the administrative looking at it to looking at it in larger contexts with our leadership on campus. And then we took it even further out to the faculty senate, to the classified senate. We had town halls. So wherever we were in our shared governance, process, this was introduced and discussed. Our president is very much into transparency and communication so that people know what's going on. And so everyone was aware that we were going to be making some changes, and this was probably the culmination of the best efforts that we could do in order to address the financial constraints that we were working with.
Excellent. If there have been any thus far, as the position has been appointed, or if not, as far as a specific success or student, I would say, result from what you've been doing, what would be the goal for the student learning department to give the students with this new reorg?
Well, because it has been a learning curve for all of us to learn about the other side of the house, the primary goal was to be able to communicate and to share information. In some areas, we probably have not been as effective in getting as much communication out. And where that has been the case, one of the things that I've done is to work with one of the staff members in my office to create a newsletter from academic and student affairs so that as things are happening that we can send information. So at least once every 2 weeks there's a newsletter increasing. So as we find areas that we may not be addressing as efficiently or as effectively, we are coming up with solutions to be able to resolve those concerns. But one, communication, but also understanding. Before, we knew about the instructional side and the students' experiences there, but we were not always aware of what kinds of things needed to happen on the student services side. And we may have talked with the deans from that side maybe once a month. Now we meet regularly all together, as opposed to deans on either side of the house. We are now meeting together as a team. We are a team.
Excellent.
And so now we are working together to help with new ideas. So you have more than 1 or 2 people trying to come up with solutions. Now we've got 5 or 6 people in a team looking at issues for the entire college and how we do that, whether it's enrollment management issues or learning community issues or hiring issues or whatever the issue. We now have a larger group of people that are focused on resolving the institution, issues around the institution as a whole, as opposed to your half and my half.
Right. Would you say that communication would be the primary goal for the new Student Learning Services department?
I think communication is probably the primary goal in any organization, not
Well
just
put.
our
I heard
office.
that, yeah. Well put.
But I think the other part is to make us more effective and have a better understanding about how things work throughout, and all of us being held at a higher level of accountability. Because we know more, and we can't say, well, you need to go see the person over there. No, how can I help you with your particular issue?
Right.
Or if I can't help you, I now know who specifically to send you to, and I think that works much better.
Outstanding. Real quick, and for our own personal edification, what does Eileen White bring to Executive Vice President Student Learning Services at Laney College?
I bring a desire for two things. I bring a desire to have quality educational programs at Laney College.
Outstanding.
And so the number two thing then becomes, what do I have to do in order to make that happen? So I need to create environments for my faculty and for the staff so that they are better able to help students to be successful, support students so that they can meet their educational goals.
Outstanding.
So therefore, support for my faculty, staff. If they have new ideas, they want to be creative, my goal is not to say, no, I don't have the money.
Right.
What it is, okay, how do we accomplish what you want to do with the resources that we currently have? And that has been another part of the reorg and the integration, as faculty coming either to talk with me or talking with themselves about, okay, how do we do what we do better with less?
With less. Good call.
And so we're experiencing some really positive things in that area right now.
Great job. I want to thank you for coming on the show, Eileen.
Oh,
It was a
it's
great
been my
conversation.
pleasure. Thank you
Outstanding.
very much.
Thank you. All right.
Okay.
That was Eileen White, Vice President of Educational Services.
Student learning.
Student Learning. Sorry, that was Eileen White, Vice President of Student Learning here at Laney College. Thank you for watching Peralta Matters. We'll be right back in a few seconds. Welcome back to Peralta Matters. I'm your host, Jay Calhoun, and we are still talking all things Laney College. I'm now joined by Associated Student Body President, Brian Cervantes. Brian, welcome to the show, man.
Thank you for having me.
Right on. Let's talk about, first of all, the Merit t-shirt that you're wearing, and you're the Laney Student Body President. What's up, man? What's going on?
The reason I was wearing the Merit College t-shirt today is I was supporting an event at Merit. It was hosted by the Black Student Union there, and they were having a talent show, so I decided to, I'm also running for Peralta Student Trustee.
Okay.
So I got to branch out and not just be part of Laney, but all part of all four schools.
Right on. Let's talk about your specific road to Student Body President. You talked a little bit off camera about how you kind of serviced almost every other position in student government.
Yes.
Talk about that.
Well, I started Laney in the spring of 2009. I got involved with the Puente Club at Laney College. And from there, one of the teachers there, Miss Loretta Hernandez, kept telling me, you'd be good for student government, get involved.
Right.
So in the fall of 2009, I started off as a senator.
Okay.
And was in charge of some of the protests against the budget cuts, and moved on to publicity commissioner, served a year as a vice president at Laney College, and then this year I've been serving as as the president of Laney College.
What have you learned over your various positions?
Where do I start?
Right on. Yeah.
Basically, I don't value any position higher than any one.
Okay.
So I think that you can learn just as much as a senator as you can as a student body president, just as long as you're out there talking to students, going to shared governance meetings, just participating in all kind of things. So I don't think my role has really changed that much. It's just more people know you. That's about it.
Yeah. I've heard a lot of student government people talk about one of the major issues with student government, especially within our colleges, is getting the word out, is letting students know how to be active, how to get involved in the colleges that they go to, as opposed to just, go to your college and go home and go to work or whatever.
Yeah.
Actually being involved in the student government. Talk a little bit about that for yourself.
Well, that's something that's really hard to get students to get involved. When I first started as a senator, there was only like 5 of us on the student government. This year we got up to where we had at least 32 people on the student government. So. Excellent. But it was a team effort to try to do that outreach to students, tell them how they can get involved, reach out to them at their level, see what they're interested in working on, and then understanding that not everyone could do it 40 hours a week, but if we can get 1 to 2 hours out of you a week, then go for it like that.
Yeah. You campaigned for student body president.
Yes.
You got the job.
Yes.
What did you feel after actually accomplishing it? I mean, it's a bit of a, for those who don't know it, at the college, junior college level, especially at Laney, it's a bit of a yearly grind to become elected.
It's pretty hard to get elected, and then once you get elected, then you're like, now I got to do something.
Exactly, right.
And basically, we started in the summer outreaching to students, trying to get more students involved. One of my campaign promises was to build more student leaders and get more students involved. And I think that we did a pretty good job of that, accomplishing that, just by getting 32 students to participate. And then we also have clubs they have student leaders through the clubs, and then other student leaders who are not actively in the student government or club, but they're helping out in other ways.
There you go. Right.
So, but the task of student body president is pretty daunting, because when you start off, it's not that hard, but as the year goes along, people want more and more out of you.
Yeah.
And then if you're doing a good job like our team is doing, then the amount of people that are coming at you is endless, so.
Keep doing a good job, but keep coming, man. You talked a little bit about your campaign promises and things that you wanted to implement as president.
Yes.
Now that we're kind of on the downhill of your presidency, so to speak.
Yes.
What are you proud of? What are you not so proud of?
Well, I'm proud that we were able to get more students involved. That's really a hard thing to do, and it took a lot of effort from the whole team to try to get more students involved. We have good leaders like our publicity commissioner, Jessica Alvarez. She's also running for student body president this upcoming election, and she's always actively trying to get more students involved.
Excellent.
So me getting her involved helped the whole process. Me trying to find good people so they can find other good people.
There you go.
Is the biggest thing.
Right. You talked about running for student trustee.
Yes.
Right. What do you hope to accomplish by becoming Peralta student trustee?
Well, basically the same kind of things that we were able to accomplish at Laney is to get more students involved at the other colleges. I feel that, not to knock on any of the student governments there, but I think that all of us can do a much better job, even at Laney, to outreach to more students, get the communication open between the colleges, and participate in each other events. Because we're all here to serve the students, and if we're doing that together, we're much more powerful in our voices. And that's kind of where I think that our weakness lies in my administration. I don't think we did a good enough job with, because we're always tied down with just Laney, that we didn't outreach to the other schools as much, and that's what I want to try to fix as a student trustee.
Excellent, excellent.
Yeah.
Well, we appreciate your presidency. You did a great job this year, and good luck as trustee.
Thank you.
You know what I mean? I want to thank Brian Cervantes for coming on the show, man. We had a great talk talking about all things Laney. We'll be right back in a few minutes.
Turn the guitars down. It's time to sculpt the sound. The volume's too high. He is now horsing around. Turn the guitars down. It is the classic standoff. We like to play at 11. You like to turn us off. Turn the guitars down.
I want to thank all of our guests for today's episode. And for more information about Laney College or any of the programs here at the colleges, visit laney.edu. Until then, please do something that matters.
Thank you.